Mowen with 4 goals, 7 assists on the season. Part of a new power play unit, Olivieri has made his way on there. He has shown exceptional defense behind the goal line so far for Berlin. 20 seconds now left for the River Drivers to score. Power play shot down low. Louie George had it, and it slips by. Score! Sending the initial shot was David Brancik. That will bounce off Louie George. He thought he had it, but the puck comes loose, and it continues to roll past the Dayton goalie, and the River Drivers draw first blood. 1-0 Berlin, 9:16 to go in the first period. Brancik should get credit for his 3rd assist on the season in his first game against the Demolition. As Berlin, when they score first, they are 3-0-2 this season. 3 wins, no losses in regulation, and 2 clear through the legs of Idawu. He stops it. Now here's Tom Tracy. Milligan near face-off circle. 40 seconds left on the 5-on-4 for Dayton. Shots on goal, 9-5 Berlin. Shot right at Bryan Haude. Dolman cannot answer back. Right for Schwartz. Score! Outside hockey, an eye for an eye, but here in hockey we have a power play for a power play, and Dayton converts, pushing around Bryan Haude in his crease, and Derrick Schwartz has it towards his right and angles it over the former Demolition goalie. Schwartz with his 4th goal on the season, and Dayton with their 15th power play goal in the season. Both teams score on the man advantage, and we're squared up at 1 with 6:12 to go in the first period. Derrick Schwartz. He comes up. Here's Mahesh for Dayton behind the attacking goal line of the Demolition. Uhnak, far face-off circle. Now back for Uhnak. Score! With 1:17 to go on that power play, the 8-9 train has arrived. It's on time as great pass work between the circles. Uhnak, Henderson, Uhnak, and the Demolition will take their first lead tonight, 2-1. With 4:29 to go in the first period, Dayton has scored on back-to-back power plays, and they are now 2 of 3 on the night. 16 power play goals, now our 74 for Dayton. Over towards the right, and now finds Nicholas Wright awaiting on the near boards, neutral zone. Up front, here comes Poitras. Poitras near corner, drops it off the side of the net of Louie George. Mahesh had it for a split second. Wright comes up for Berlin, and they'll zip towards the near point. Olivieri's shot blocked down low. There is the equalizer for Berlin in the slot towards the left. It's Sean Poitras with his 5th. He has 10 points now for the River Drivers, and we're squared away at 2 with 2:20 to go in the first. Sean Poitras, equalizer. As Berlin answers up the first full-strength goal we have on the night. As Berlin drops it in the slot, and with their 10th shot on goal, they'll pull it home. They're outshooting the Demolition now by 1 at 10-9. As Poitras right there angles it home over Louie George. And Berlin shot save, Louie George, and Louie George clamps on top of it. Now we got more fisticuffs. Looks like that's Nicholas Wright and Derrick Schwartz, and Schwartz is giving him a couple right-handers right to the noggin, and Schwartz and Wright are going at it by the goalie crease. Here comes Wright with a couple of haymakers, and Schwartz, he's grabbing at the chest of Nicholas Wright, and both men will have 5 minutes for fighting. Nicholas Wright of the Berlin River Drivers and Derrick Schwartz of the Dayton Demolition. Wright pumping up the crowd. He'll wring his hands around, taunting the Demolition fans. As Derrick Schwartz, he'll go back to the locker room, and Nick Wright should too, because we only have 8.5 seconds, and both gentlemen cannot come back in the first period. Nicholas Wright and Derrick Schwartz. A battle of fisticuffs right there. And what could be a sign throughout tonight as the Berlin at Dayton game, the first one where Dayton won 7-5. Man, we had some good fights in that one. And tonight we've already had a couple of scraps. Near corner, no icing as Pestrikov twists and turns, pushed away from Stephen Gallo at 6'2". Now there's a shot by Leedy. It's right wide. Milligan scores! Leedy pours it in towards the front. Haude redirects it away, and Milligan for the second night in a row, right to him. He knows what to do with the rebound. Into the back of the net it goes, and Dayton reclaims the lead, 3-2 with 16:28 to go in the second. And Cody Milligan scores his sixth goal on the 2015-2016 campaign. Dolman tipping it wide to the left. Uhnak now for Dayton. 14:09 to go in the second. 3-2 Demolition. Tracy in the slot, blocked up. Now here's Dolman. Dolman to Tracy, score! Danger, Tommy Danger, his 8th goal on the season, pours it right home as Dayton with a 3-on-2 left some space between the right wing and the center. Uhnak working it over, and Tom Tracy right in front of the house of Bryan Haude, and Dayton has taken their biggest lead of the night. They lead 4-2 against the Berlin River Drivers with 14:01 to go in the second, and the shots on goal read 15-13 Berlin. Chad Bennett. Bryan Haude, he's played 5 games. This is his 6th, and his first with Berlin. As Marks scores! Haude misread that shot from Brian Marks at the near point. It's the Demolition captain feeding up front, and Haude goes towards his left. It curves towards his right into the back of the net, and Dayton has now taken a 3-goal lead against the Berlin River Drivers. 5-2 Dayton with 7:26 to go in the second period. Over in their attacking zone, Dolman. Uhnak plays it off the bounce. Here comes a 4-on-2 for Dayton. Now here's Uhnak towards the right, off of Haude, score! As it was said on one episode of Demolition Talk, they are no longer Berkshire boys, they're Dayton boys. Those former battalions of Dolman, Uhnak, and Tracy have really clicked it up as of late. And all 3 forwards head back to the bench. Dayton now leads by 4 at 6-2. They have scored 4 upon the River Drivers in this second period. And Dayton is out shooting the River Drivers for the first time tonight, 20-18. 14 saves. 14 saves on 20 shots. Both teams 20-20 shooting. 6-2 Dayton, 4:53 to go in the second. Down low, score! Off the end of the stick of Stephen Gallo. He'll angle it past Louie George, and that's the first goal for Berlin since the late first period tally, and it's now a 6-3 lead for the Dayton Demolition. Stephen Gallo had it by the far face-off circle, hits it off the end of the stick, and it wangles it in past Louie George. And Berlin now trails by 3 for Gallo, give him his second goal of the season. Steven Gallo cuts the deficit for Berlin's first goal of the second. 6-3 Dayton, your score with 4:50 to go in the second. Jesse Felten looking to take this face-off, and Berlin. Tracy stood up. Schwartz doesn't like that. Helmet is loose, and Berlin with it, looking to go in the neutral zone. Dayton all over the puck with 1:10 now. There's a shot and score! Jade Idawu! What a snipe from Jade Idawu, the defenseman, yet to score. And his first FHL goal is a snipe with Bryan Haude. A little bit distracted towards the left. And Dayton will put 7 upon the board against the Berlin River Drivers for the second game in a row. 7-3 Dayton with 1:07 to go in the third. 14 goals for the Demolition against the River Drivers, whereas Berlin has scored 8 goals against Louie George in the 2 games. Cove on the ice, and Jesse Felten has won the faceoff for his Demolition crew. Now over for Brian Marks. Marks, his pass cut off, and now here come the River Drivers looking to chew into this deficit. Kicked around, score! Stathis Soumelidis with his second tonight takes the left lane of the slot and a pass right to the back of the net over Louie George. Stathis Soumelidis with his second. And by the way, that goal was credited to Michael Dolman. And actually Michael Dolman with that tally. Jade Idawu not involved with that line. Michael Dolman, Tom Tracy combined at the 18:53 mark. 7-4 is your score as Soumelidis scores his second. He also scored the first Berlin goal tonight. He's got 2 on the year. Our final minute up high, and it misses the scoreboard. Up for Schwartz. Schwartz pulls on the brakes. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Berlin in the neutral zone, and that's the game. Your final score tonight, the Dayton Demolition 7 and the Berlin River Drivers 4. Dayton has snapped a 3-game losing streak. They improved to 5-7-3, and Berlin, they have lost their 5th in a row. They fall to 4-9-2. Up next is the Premier Health postgame show as Dayton wins it 7-4 tonight against the Berlin River Drivers here on the Dayton Demolition Broadcasting Network. We'll be back after this.
I'm Sally, a volunteer at United Way. I'm asking people around the neighborhood what they think this place needs. Excuse me, hi. What do you think this place needs?
I'd like to see more parking.
More playgrounds.
Free movies.
That's easy. Better restaurants.
And you, what do you think this place needs?
This place? Oh, more ice cream trucks.
Okay. How about you?
Wi-Fi everywhere?
I was thinking more money in the pockets of local families come tax time.
Can I change my answer?
I was just kidding about the ice cream.
Oh, that's way better.
Now that you mention it.
When it comes to getting better